Hi, Corey Roth here to compare how SPFx performs on my old 2016 MacBook Pro compared to my new 16-inch 2021 MacBook Pro with the M1 Max processor. You can see the two computers are fairly similar in size. You can see, of course, the reduced bezel on the 16-inch on the right. Of course, the big old notch glaring at you as well. And what we're going to do here is we're going to compare build times between Gulp Serve and Gulp Bundle -ship and see how they compare. Both running the same project, both have a fair amount of web parts and extensions, so they have decent build times. We'll see if this makes any difference or not.
On the left, you'll see my existing MacBook Pro. I'm connected to it via remote screen sharing. And on the right, we have Visual Studio Code running on my M1 Mac. This particular project has a web part, an application customizer, a few other things, fair amount of dependencies. So it does have some longer build times as it's fairly mature. So we'll start by testing Gulp Serve, see how it does. So I'm going to hit return on both keyboards at the same time. And you'll notice the M1 Mac, immediately has console output quite a bit faster. It's not tons faster in this case. And we're also, of course, we're not fully optimized because this is running on Node.js through the emulation layer through Rosetta, since there's not native support in Node 14. But you can see we got to the end there, about a second faster maybe. If you look at the details, like Webpack in this case, about a second faster. Of course, that's our longest task that we're usually waiting for. This is a straight project. We haven't made any configurations to TS-lint or used any of the optimizations, right, that are out there in the community. But you can see the longer task, like copy static assets, about half a second faster. TS-lint, about a whole second faster. TSC, actually took longer on the M1 Max. So what I'm saying is not, what I've seen so far is not very consistent on whether it's faster, but it does seem to be a second or two faster so far on our initial test. Now let's compare Gulp Bundle -ship, one of the longest tasks in the SPFx build chain. So I just launched both of them. I just executed a Gulp clean right before this, so there's nothing cached. Everything's good to go from an equal footing here. It looks like Webpack's running a little bit faster on the older MacBook Pro. It's got a little bit faster there. TSC came in almost a second faster this time, and I've seen very inconsistent times between the two. Uh, in this case, wow, it's still running on the M1 Mac. 5 seconds longer. I've seen the M1 Mac several times come in a second faster. Now it seems to be a little slower and slower. Let's just run it again, just as is, and see how it does a second time. And this time, it's quite a bit faster. So it's hard to compare these, and build times are inconsistent anyway. Just what there's going on with your system. There's really not much running on each one of these right now. That's affecting system resources. Uh, Although the M1 Max is still new, there could still be indexing and things going on like that. It has been running for several hours now, and we installed it last night. But you see that time we came in about a second faster. So what it comes down to is the M1 going to accelerate your SPFX build chain? Probably not. Obviously you're probably running Gulp build from Azure DevOps, maybe anyway, or GitHub Actions or something like that. But for the day-to-day stuff, it looks like Gulp Serve traditionally is about a second faster, so that's nice. You gain a second back. Maybe it doesn't make that much a deal, but I think every second adds up throughout the day. But what I will say is the machine is lightning fast. Just using the browsers, opening web pages, like they feel snappy, like just the way apps open and it's fast there. You're not waiting, like so that aspect of it, absolutely worth it. Now, Why is it slower? Well, obviously we're going to an emulation layer because we're running on Node 14, which doesn't have full M1 Max support yet. Node 16 has better support, as far as I understand. It's a little bit confusing when you read about this stuff because you could already on Node 14 you could still switch between architectures, going from ARM64 and x64. So I'll understand that at some point as I keep messing with this. But I found there were some tricks. For example, I had to switch to the x64 architecture to get the Yeoman generator to install. Uh, I did it had something to do with Node JIP that ran, which I think has got some more native code in it, if I understand right. So I'll be posting on that, like what the steps you have to do to get things working. Um, but overall, I'm very happy with it. Will this make my builds faster every day? Yeah, we'll see. I'm able to get better as time goes on.